Hey guys, happy November. I hope you're all doing well. Personally, I'm still a little bit tired from last month, and I have a bit of a sore throat that I'm really hoping isn't strep throat, but otherwise I'm good. I didn't originally plan on doing a voiceover for this video, but since I didn't end up vlogging throughout October, I thought it'd be a great chance for us to catch up and I could let you know how Inktober went for me this year. So this year I chose to do most of my drawings on 5x5 squares, and I used Legion Stonehenge Aqua Hot Press paper, which is my favorite paper to work on right now. I did a few days on 7x7 pieces of paper as well, days that I had more energy, or if my sketch was a little bit too detailed for 5x5. But I think I only ended up doing 3 of those bigger ones. For the ink, I used Higgins Black Magic ink. It's the same bottle from last year. And then for most of the line work, I used a Speedball dip pen from the sketching set. The nib is completely stuck in the pen though, so I can't get it out to tell you which one I'm using. Besides that, I also used a set of Copic multi-liners that were almost completely dried out, and a micron liner in the size 0.8 or 0.5 millimeters. And lastly, a Sakura jelly roll for any small white details. For the ink washes, I pretty much used my regular brushes, some super old Artist Loft small synthetic brushes. I think it's from the Necessities set. And the Simply Simon's round brush in size 5. And I think I used an Arteza liner brush for one of the days. And then lastly, just like a water brush pen. So now that the supplies are out of the way, here's what I managed to make. There's actually 33 pieces here since I redid 2 days, and I already mailed them to my patrons, but I also worked on 13 artist trading cards this month. I had a really busy month. So I'll put each day's prompt over the video so you can see it, but they just came from a list I made myself ahead of time. It's a combination of things I wanted to draw, things I'm scared of drawing, like emotions and hands, and a few of my original characters. I think this actually is the smoothest Inktober I've had so far. I was a lot less stressed throughout the month than I normally am, and I feel like I got a hang of the ink much quicker. I find ink washes a lot more difficult to work with than like watercolors or something. It's hard to blend. It's more unpredictable and it's not very forgiving, but I think day 7 is where I started to feel more comfortable and less like, oh my god, what am I doing? The 2 days I redid were day 4 and day 6. For day 4, I just tried to fix the design. I made everything bigger, I changed the nose and the teeth and some of the color placement. Then for day 6, I just started completely over. I'm not really sure which versions I like better, so I just included them both in this. But besides redoing a few, I also went back and added a little bit more contrast to a few days. That's another thing I find pretty tough about ink. It dries a lot lighter, so having nice contrasting shades can be hard. You have to be a little bit bold while you're working and trust that it will be less in your face when it dries. So I had something like 13 sketches done before October started, and then I would work on a few at night every so often until around the 25th, because I had to go back to Missouri for my brother's wedding. I had hoped I'd be a few days ahead before we left, but that didn't happen. So we just went, and I decided to catch up when we got back. We got back on the night of the 27th, and I was already 3 days behind, but the 27th was Bo's birthday, which he had to spend in the car, so I just decided to take one more day to just hang out with him and make cake and play video games. Then the next day after that, I spent the whole day just sketching and finishing the Patreon artist trading cards. And then the next one on shipping out all of my Patreon rewards with Bo's help. And then finally, I was ready to start catching up on Inktober. I was 6 days behind at this point, so on the 30th, I did all of the transferring of the sketches and all of the line work and filling in any solid black sections for number 25 through 30. Then on the 31st, I worked on the ink washes for all of those. I didn't finish the number 31 until November 1st, but considering everything, I'm really happy with that. I think a few things really helped this year. Planning, of course, is a big one. Having a prompt list ready and a big chunk of the sketches done ahead of time made a big difference. Also, I've done a lot of these 30 days challenges, so I kind of know what to expect for myself. Firstly, I will stop cleaning and I will get very lazy about cooking. So firstly, we bought more easy to prepare food this month, and I did a few bigger cleans at the beginning of the month before I got too tired later on. I also worked in batches when I could. I would work on multiple sketches at a time. I would work on 2 or 3 pieces at a time. Just getting the line work done like a day ahead of time can give you time to rest the next day or work on admin if art is your full-time job. I find inking to be a lot more physically demanding than painting, if that makes sense. I'm slower at it and it puts more strain on my wrist rather than my elbow and shoulder. So I also made time for icing my wrist at night. I slept in my wrist brace and also did hand and wrist stretches after every big inking session. I have hand and wrist pain even not during Inktober, so I was extra careful last month. Continuing to work through pain is like a really bad idea, so remember to take breaks. If you're interested in owning any of these pieces, there will be a link to my shop in the description as well as on the end card. I hope you guys all had a really great October. I actually recorded all of the days up to the 30th, so as soon as I can, I will start pumping those videos out soon. And yeah, bye.